wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working.
What's up, YouTube? It's Friday. I hope all of y'all are having a fantastic day. As always, we're diving into, of course, some market pulse updates, checking out Bitcoin, seeing what's going on with that. It seems to be holding a strong support level. We're going to be diving into that, of course, in some more detail, looking at previous trends in history, not only with Bitcoin, but also Ethereum, and see some movements of where we might end up thinking things may end up going. And once again, folks, it is TGI Friday. We are doing a Coinfessions little breakdown and just going through some of the articles that I've read on Coinfessions that I just found absolutely fascinating. And of course, diving into PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex with some crypto news. So without further ado, boys and gals, I hope again y'all are all having a fantastic day, fantastic weekend. Some people already have some time off, as it is overall the Easter weekend going on right now. So some people have their kids home from school. I know the markets are closed in terms of the overall stock market. Gold had absolutely smashed the month of March. And of course, we're going to be diving into that and some more. So let's check out what Bitcoin's doing. As a matter of fact, right now, we got Bitcoin sitting at $69,300 at this point in time. And again, this is on the weekly right now. So when I am looking at this, kind of giving a gauge as to where we end up doing, we are wanting to see if Bitcoin can close above 69,044, which is the previous all-time high for the weekly candle. And again, you can actually see over here, ideally, we really want to be seeing that close on Sunday above the 69K. That would just be mega bullish overall for many individuals. But a lot of it comes down to the Ethereum, or to the Bitcoin ETF. Again, we've been talking about the funds happening with that as well, and seeing what's going on over there with Bitcoin. So seeing Bitcoin at 69,300 right now is pretty par for the course. Can it close the week above the previous all-time high before the halving? That is something it's had a hard time doing. And you can actually see, if you just break this down overall on the daily right now, you can see it's had some struggles closing on that point in time. Again, this is the weekly here. Again, this is Sunday when the week closed. Again, it rallied all the way up to that 68, had some little pullback. And again, if you actually see where it got up to, got pretty darn close to closing above it, but it wasn't quite able to once again. And so it actually held that 69K as a level of resistance right back over here. And again, just to kind of zoom in a little bit easier so that way y'all can see, this is where it was having some struggle at right here. Again, this is Sunday when the weekly close actually goes through and takes place. And so when you're seeing this information, again, this is what I'm basing it on. Again, you saw Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday ended up doing some sell-offs. Sunday, once again, tried recovering, but it wasn't able to close above the weekly. On that one, again, we're going through doing the same exact thing once again and seeing how it's going to end up shaping out, because even last Sunday, once again, it found some previous resistance right around the 68K. But so far, it seems to be doing, or wanting to at least, push above and close the week above the 69,044 number that we've been talking about. So when I pull up these charts, you can see this is the level of resistance that they've continued to hit over and over and over and over and over again. Let me get some music going on in the background. What do y'all feel like doing? Some rave day today? Let's do some rave. Let's have some fun. If the music's too loud, give me a heads up. Let me know as well. But checking it out over here, we actually have Bitcoin sitting on the Impulse MACD, flipping into a bullish move. We've seen what this can do in the past. We have seen 40, 50, or even 70% moves when this does flip bullish. And I've pulled this up on the stream yesterday, but what could that actually do for the price of Bitcoin if we were to, in fact, see a 7 or 40, even 50% move on this alone? So if we were to just go up on this one, roughly around 50%, that puts us above the 100,000 mark for Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. This is what tends to happen when the Impulse MACD does flip onto a bullish side. We've seen this happen time and time again. You can go back and look at every single time it's crossed, what the moves that it did before. And you can see on some of these moves, again, they're 13% on upwards into the 23% range as well. So pretty darn crazy what we got going on. What happened to music? Is it just so quiet I can't hear? Interesting. If you can hear the music, I would love to also hear it as well on my end. Give me 1 second. Let me try something out. Here's the fun little thought. This is from Alan Watts. If y'all ain't heard this before. What happened to my audio?
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about
Audio.
except thoughts. So he loses touch with reality.
Yeah, that's crazy because I cannot
in a world of illusion.
Music is good. What? Y'all can hear the music? What? Why can't I hear the music?
By thoughts, I mean specific.
So y'all can probably hear Alan Watts doing his conversation right now. Dude, what the heck? This is super odd. Of course, streaming live, as you already know. Well, now it's off. I can hear the guy talking. Yeah, dude, I know. It's I can't hear it at all, which super odd to just be like as clear as I can. I put the music back on again, and I guess I'll turn it down. If y'all can hear it, cool, enjoy. It's a nice little rave music that I got going on right now for a nice little Friday stream. And maybe I'll be able to hear it again. Waters is low volume. I can hear the music too. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, super odd. It's crazy that I can't hear it myself to enjoy the fun music with all of y'all. Okay, cool. Well, I'll play it through my speakers as well, and I can now hear it. So, all right, cool. We can hear it, just really low. Cool. Well, now I can turn it up because now I got an idea. There we go. Yeah, all right, cool. We're back at it again, folks. It's Friday once again, checking out what's going on in the market, seeing what's happening right now. We want to see Bitcoin once again close above the week on the 69, above the 69,044 line that we have drawn out for the previous all-time high. Now, what's crazy about some of these markings, and I'm going to go flip this over here on the weekly real quick just to kind of see some measurements, is when we actually go through and measure some of these items and go back to the previous market and the previous market high and low, if we actually do a fib extension on this one just to kind of get some little moves and to see what's going on overall. Let me see right here, boom, all the way down to the low. All right, cool. I'm just enjoying the music right now because now I can actually hear it. For whatever reason, I couldn't hear it before. All right, cool. So when you're actually looking at some of this stuff right here, what's very interesting is when you draw this particular chart out, and let me switch this up as well. All right, so when you draw this particular chart out, what was very noticeable about it was whenever we actually went through from the 2020 or 2017 cycle on into the bull, on into the bear, on into the next bull, what you notice is we got pretty darn close to actually hitting the 4.236 level of retracement. Now, this is very common that you do end up getting these levels of retracement at this point in time. We are seeing some resistance. Normally, it's been actually going up to the 4.236. As a matter of fact, let's just pull up another fib and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about over here. So when you get this right here, boom, you get a nice little level and up to here. All right. So you can see we broke above that 4.236 over here on this cycle, and over here on this new cycle, we got pretty darn close. Let me just kind of make this a little bit easier for myself to see. We got pretty darn close to hitting that 4.236. We didn't quite get there. And again, that's why everyone was thinking 100K Bitcoin, you know, everyone was getting that little mindset. We didn't quite get there. And now at this point in time, we are seeing some retracement happening. And we actually saw that level, the 3.618 got hit. and then of course a nice little level of resistance that actually managed to come through. This is also due to many other factors that ended up happening, but you can see it actually hit the 3.618, which is pretty common when you're actually going through on these levels. So what everyone's anticipating right now is if we end up doing a similar move, where could things end up going right now, which is basically, if you notice, pretty darn close to where RH called the price point as well for Bitcoin. So if I actually were to zoom out on this one, going back up to the 4.236 over here, let me just make it a lot bigger and a lot easier to see for everyone. That's what she said. Anyways, so you got this over here where you can actually see a beautiful little level of retracement. It's getting through all these levels of resistance. It's past the 618, it's past the 786, and again it's moving on upwards. So the first level is that nice little 1618 level. This is almost that guaranteed level during a bull market. Many things will hit this level, so that's at least putting Bitcoin at $102,000 at this point in time. Going up to the 2618 level brings us into the 106 or 155k range. Hitting the 3.618 level brings us into the 209k range, and again hitting that 4.236, which is damn near the peak in most markets. That's usually when you're going to get that cycle top. That's usually when things will start dropping from there, and that actually puts the price at $242,435. And again, we got RH price call back on February 28th of 2024, where he stated that he says Bitcoin reaching 241,500,000. So pretty spot on with how this whole retracement will end up playing out. It's just a matter of, do we end up seeing the same level of retracement? Do we end up getting the same level of effort as well? What's interesting about this too is when you pull up some of these levels for, let's just say for the ETH side of things. Let me just switch this up over here. Give me 1 second and look at over here. Do the same thing for this fib from its previous high to its previous low, and boom. All right. And I know I got a lot over here, so maybe I can get rid of some. Do I want to get rid of some of this? I can put it back on. So what you're going to see is over here, we ended up doing damn near the exact same thing with Ethereum. It actually ended up going all the way up, basically retesting out this 3618 level right before it ended up pulling back. So a lot of people were thinking we're going to be seeing the 4.236, putting Ethereum around the 5,700. As you know, we actually ended up getting a high closer to the range of 4868. And so at this point in time, people are wondering, where is it possible for Ethereum to go? And if it wants to go up and do the exact same thing, whether testing out the 3618 or the 4.236, it's putting Ethereum in the ballpark of roughly around $15,000 on upwards to $17,000 as well, before a pretty big pullback that you can most likely expect around that time. Because again, folks, when you see the 4.236 get hit, it is very common that is pretty much the tippity top when you actually end up in that situation. So based on what we're seeing overall, this is very, very crazy information happening right now. This is some bullish news. I don't know where my indicator went for my Impulse MACD, so let me just put that back on. Boop-a-doo. Oh, what's the other indicator that I have on right now? I only have... Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to get the Impulse MACD. Oh, I already had it on. I was just hiding it. You silly goose. Silly goose. All right, cool. Let me throw this other one back on then. Next. The next. Cool. All right, cool. So this next pivot indicator, if you don't know, again, I wouldn't use it on necessarily like a weekly scale, but this is kind of showing what could be possible. It gives you an indicator based on the last previous 30 days is what I have this based on. So this blue box that you're seeing right here is actually pulling all the previous data for the last 30 weeks on Ethereum to kind of give a gauge as where Ethereum may end up going further into the future. And you can see it's putting Ethereum roughly in the $22,000 region. But again, I like using this more so on the daily for the next pivot indicator because it kind of gives a better gauge as what we could expect overall in the market. This does have Ethereum doing a retracement going back down at this point in time, just based on, again, the previous 30-day information on this one, doing the daily. So it is just one of those indicators that I like having on just to take a little peeky week at. Again, by no means do I think that's going in that direction per se, but it would be a good healthy market structure, and in fact would still be holding a nice level of bullish support that we've actually had drawn on this trend line all the way really back from June of 2022. So when we actually pull this information up overall, it's just kind of giving me a little idea or a range as what could be possible. And again, that's putting Ethereum back into the $2,000 range. Again, I would see it having plenty of support around this $2,800 mark, even some bigger support around this level of $2,400. So just kind of seeing how it's all going to end up playing out. But if it does end up coming back and retesting out this range right here, it would still be in the bullish zone. The Impulse MACD is wanting to slightly curve back up again. It is wanting to slowly get this in and slowly get this done. So it is just one of those things that I am paying attention to overall and seeing if we end up getting that curve going up. Again, what you can expect, a little bit of some pullbacks, a little bit of retracement. And once again, just seeing how it's all going to end up playing out. I missed that one just by a smidge. Here we go. So put the price of Ethereum back damn near all-time high again at 47.34. If we were to be basing this off the information that we have for this fib extension and then going on upwards to the bigger levels as well. And so it is something that I am checking out. It is something that we will be keeping an eye on. And again, just the ranges that I see Bitcoin going to or anywhere in the ballpark of possibly $240,000 for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, roughly around 17,000 for Ethereum. So that is still some massive gains to be made, boys and gals. Again, I know it's, whoops, wrong. Let me pull that back up again. Here we go. All right, cool. And again, I just want to thank everyone again for all of this support once as always. And I would like to give a quick little shout out to the sponsors of the channel, which is the Patreon peeps. So much love to every single one of y'all. Let me give us a little shout out to the Patreon peeps on this one, and we'll be right back.
Thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to Debbie Phillips, ES Sports, Claudia Schwartz, Sir Toasty, Joel Lawrence, Joe Blow Crypto, Hector Reyes, Bureau Attila, Sean, Rep Bussy, Robbie Tears, Atlantean, Jonathan, Oyston Larson, Eric Johannesson, Prospector, Darren, Patrick, Joxy Boons, Larry Eats Plants, Sovereign Man, Crypto CPT, Moonmutt, Benny Davis, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, Rugburn 222, Christopher Davis, Lacey, Heximus, PulseXimus, Arzella Barnes, SoFlo Life, Lord Jamie, Mark, Chris Bugatti, Secret Crypto 21M, Hex Stevens, Lucky Taylor, NatNat369, L James, David Morgan, Fly Flea.
So much love to every single one of y'all. So much love. But again, based on this information, folks, things are still looking pretty damn bullish for crypto overall. This is actually a pretty crazy little bullish flag that's going on right now. And you can kind of see just based on this information what it's looking like. If it does want to break out above it, it is mad bullish as well. And the levels to be expected would be where we just previously discussed, somewhere in the ballpark of about $5,200 or $4,700 for the Ethereum side of things, breaking damn near close to its previous all-time high. And then actually going above and beyond and seeing what could go on. And again, if it does want to break down, then that's just also to be expected. In some cases, a good level of retracement would be healthy for this market. We haven't really seen the massive pullbacks that we would normally see on these moves, especially with Bitcoin in particular. Bitcoin's one of those that we usually get 30, 40, even 50, 60% retracements. The 50, 60 are a little bit more random or more, they happen less often, but the 30, 40% retracements do happen. And so far this cycle, going all the way back and looking at all the times the Bitcoin has in fact dipped, we've really only seen a max of close to about 21, 22% during some of these dips. Again, that's pretty much the max pain that we've seen. We haven't really seen a full 30% correction on some of these. Again, that's kind of something to expect. But if it doesn't want to go through and do that, again, this all really started back in November of 2022 when things really started going off and kicking off for Bitcoin. So that's kind of where I'm measuring from. I'm not measuring from like the previous bear. But again, these moves of dips have only really been in the ballpark of like 20, 22%. So we still haven't seen the full 30% retracement, even 40% retracement. And if we end up getting that, I've said this already in the past, but it would put us back into the $50,000, below $50,000 range, which would be super freaking healthy, y'all. I would love to see a pullback here. Do we get that? I do not know. mainly because of this right here, where we get the inflows happening with Bitcoin, where you can see this is based on the dollars over here, US dollars in the million. So right here, you got BlackRock putting in 323 million over here. You got, 243 million wrapped up that day, 418 million wrapped up this time. And so far, there's been roughly around 11.2 billion, or 11. Yeah, this is million, so it'd be billion. Yeah. So quite a bit of money has gone into this at this point in time. Just looking at the overall flow, there's been plenty of Grayscale selling. The red that you see right here is Grayscale just continuing to sell and sell and sell. And you can actually see a little bit more zoomed in over here what Grayscale is doing. Again, they've really done nothing but sell, but they still have a big old bag of Bitcoin, y'all. Still sitting on 341,000 Bitcoin overall for this one. So keeping that in mind for everything happening. That's a little bit of update on what's going on with, now they're down to 340,000, right? So like they literally just keep selling. But again, what happens when they stop selling, or the market just outpaces all the sellers? And again, so far BlackRock has just been scooping up the Bitcoin while they can actually end up getting it done. Same thing for Fidelity. They've just been scooping up the Bitcoin overall. And so, it's pretty crazy to watch all of this actually go through and play out as it is. But it is something that we are paying attention to. Checking out the PulseChain ecosystem, let me just refresh the page just to double check. We got the current price of Pulse sitting at 30107, current price of PulseX 40427, current price of the Ink token $6.29, and the current price of Hex almost breaking below a penny, and this is Hex on PulseChain. Hex over on Ethereum is still sitting at 0.0022. Again, that ratio is sitting at 1 to 5. So yeah, I mean, I've already stated this in the past, week or so on the stream. There's got to be something that happens, right? There's got to be like the good FOMO event of like a whale stepping in and continuing to buy to get that little like rally start to go. But at this point in time, every single time we've seen a whale step in, it's just been nothing but perpetual sellers at this point. So that just means we're going to have to be patient for longer. If you are in this ecosystem, just keep that in mind. So yeah, checking out let's have some fun looking at some Coinfessions today, folks. And again, this is always fun to check out. It's always good to get a gauge on some of this stuff. So I'm just going to kind of pull this mic up and just have some fun chatting with all of y'all. Again, if the music is too loud or anything like that, then just give me a little heads up over here. Let me make sure that the mic didn't, for whatever, just cut out. Okay, cool. Looks like it's still good. So overall, we have crypto was my last hope to make it out of waging. I've been trading since the beginning of 2023 and missed many great opportunities that year. Now it's 2024 and I still haven't made it. During just the last few months, I feel like the markets have become so much more efficient and my chance to make it is gone. Every possible edge I can find is already exploited. I've invested all my time into crypto and it wasn't enough. And to this I say, have a longer term mindset. Like, again, I know the premise of all these Coinfessions that we're going to be talking about today are just going to be the fact that everyone has a short term mindset. Like, just to keep it simple on this one. But again, this is just some of the few that I found to just be more so hilarious, more so pretty witty, and just checking it out. And again, let me know what y'all's thoughts are on all this as well. The next one says, I'm in a very dark place that I can't get out of. I've been in crypto since the early days, working 2 to 3 jobs to buy my crypto. In today's market, I'd have over $12 million. I lost everything in the Celsius Ponzi scheme or Ponzi scam. Not your keys, not your fucking coins. I recently received a tiny fraction of my crypto back after suffering for 19 months of pure bankruptcy hell. I have bad depression. I have severe trauma still. I'm in a very dark place that I can't get out of. My health has deteriorated significantly, missed the upside and of the recent rallies, and lawyers are callous, money-hungry bastards that put us through more trauma. Again, guys, get your freaking coins off the centralized exchanges. Like, there should be no reason, especially, man, for like the people trying to earn like 3, 4, 5% yield on that one. Stop it, right? There's so much better ways that allow you to do that in a decentralized fashion where you do not have to put your money up on this one. So go start checking out Aave, go start checking out the MakerDAO, all these different protocols that are available where you don't have to put your coins into a centralized exchange just in case something does happen. Again, working 2 to 3 jobs to buy my crypto. Again, that's just one of those things that does happen quite often. Actually, let me kind of read through the chat real fast. It's been a minute since I've actually said hello to some people. So for the people who are here, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you as always. So much love for everyone. We got Julian Soul in the house. Hope all is well. Absolutely. Mo digging it. What's good? Cookie de Chocolata. How are you doing, my chica? Hey TX, hey everybody. Absolutely. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. It is free, folks. It doesn't cost you anything. It's something that you can easily do to help the channel out as well. Hi ADX. How's everyone doing today? Doing good. You never walk alone. I've got a newbie question. And again, guys, if y'all have questions as well, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll kind of get through them. I'll go through back and forth on checking out the style of, again, Coinfessions, and just going back to chat. If you see a super chat come through or anything like that, I can definitely make sure that gets addressed. I've got a newbie question here. I have never had anybody explain to me. May I ask? Always, Cookie de Chocolata. Always, always, always. You are always welcome to ask every question that y'all possibly have. So feel free to ask that. Will you be looking at PulseChain charts? Yeah, I mean, so Kai, dude, there's not a lot going on in the PulseChain charts. Let's just be real about that, right? Again, I pulled this up on the stream yesterday, but as we actually stand, again, PulseChain actually ended up falling in terms of the overall protocol here. I am still mad bullish on the protocol, so do not get that twisted by any stretch of the imagination. I just need everyone's mindset to be stretched out instead of thinking we're going to pump in the next 60 days, 30 days, next week, next hour, next minute. I need everyone to go further with their measurement of when the pump is going to happen. I pulled up charts from Phantom. I pulled up charts from Binance of when they actually started pumping on previous bull markets for layer ones, and it does look like September is going to be the earliest we really start seeing some pumps, on upwards to January before the pump really actually takes off. So are you properly prepared with the 5 P's, proper preparation, preventing poor performance, to make sure that you're ready to take advantage of not only the next several months in between, because all that matters is how many tokens you have at the end of the day. When the bull market's here, it can be a very short period of time, anywhere between 12, 6, or even 18 months. Right? And so just by that stretch of the imagination, keep that in mind. I hope all of y'all are ready. Now, pulling up the chart for PulseX over here, we'll start here with PulseX. Again, I've said this already, but we are in a bearish or in a bullish channel right now. I am wanting to maintain, or would like to see it maintain within this bullish channel. But again, all metrics show that we are still looking for some moves to really take off. Based on all of these items that I'm seeing right here, again, this is either a flat consolidation period for PulseX, which is basically all up in here, which could be a nice little level of consolidation before the next pump. So basically what happens, just to kind of give you an idea, and we'll break this down over here on a separate scale. Let me make sure to turn that off for a second. So basically what's going to happen is you end up doing this. You get a nice little pump, 1, 2, here, let me just kind of redo that one. So you end up getting a nice little pump. You see some pumps happening right here. You get a nice little level of accumulation. This is that redistribution phase, whatever you would like to call it. And then going into the next pump where it actually ends up going back above, consolidating, making a new higher high level once again, and then continuing that little cycle, going up to the next level, consolidating here within this little range, making a new, higher level of consolidation. And that's basically what we're doing right now. We're just doing like this little stair step pattern through it all. And so with PulseX, that's kind of the similar situation that I see happening with PulseX. If we do end up breaking out of this bullish channel, again, it is possible that we do break out for a period. It's not, it's not like it doesn't happen every now and again, but if we end up going here sideways for much longer, then this bullish channel will be kind of negated. You'll have to draw a new channel at that point in time to really see how it's all going to end up playing out. But as of right now, we're bouncing and we fell below. We did not hold support of the 618 level for the fib retracement on this one. And so it does look like it wants to go here and test out this 0.5 level, right? So do you have any additional capital available? And if you do, could be a good time to be buying. Again, don't YOLO in. Go with the first level right here. Go with the second level right here. Even go with the third level right here. And guess what? This level may never happen, right? You have to also accept that reality for what it is too. But as it stands right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at, just to check everything out and see everything as well. and moving out some of these items over here. So that's going to be on the Pulse X chart. That's kind of what I'm seeing. Again, the 915 EMA, this is on the daily over here, is actually still in a bullish zone. Even flipping this to a 4-hour to see if there's any big difference over here. We are still on a bearish trend right now, and it actually crossed the 915 EMA back over here on the 4-hour chart over here. And again, it does look like the RSI is wanting to dip back down into an oversold territory. Even flipping it over to a 3-day chart, things are still, you know, overall saying the same thing. This 3-day chart, the 915 EMA just crossed, meaning more bearish is ahead, right? And so, like, you know, as it is right now, I could definitely be checking out the charts. I don't know if it's what people want to hear. Everyone wants to hear we're going to the moon tomorrow. And so if you're ready for that, then cool. And if you want some truth on what the charts are looking like, then I'll share that with you. Again, with PulseChain or with Hex on PulseChain, we've been bouncing in this range since the launch, right? We haven't really broken above 3 cents. We haven't really fallen below at this point in time, 0.005, right? And so as long as it stays bouncing in this range, it's not really doing much. We are into a ascending wedge right now, and so it could definitely have the ability to possibly fall back down lower, possibly come back up, play here within this range all the way up until, guess when? July to possibly longer, right? If I was to actually pull this out over here and see, this puts the overall chart, if we were to break this down in August of 2024, if we continue this same trend that we've actually been on. So are you properly ready for that? And again, for some people, they are way over leveraged, which is partly why we're diving into the Coinfessions area, looking at the Pulse chart as well, just to kind of get everyone's mindset right again. Looking at the PulseChain chart, once again, we are hitting that level of support that we have held on previous times, a few different times. If it does fall below that previous level of support, the SAC price is really that next level that you're looking at. And again, if you just look at the overall extensions on where we are, we've already fallen below the 618 for the fib extension. We've basically, or we would be coming down and testing out the 0.5 extension, which is again 409736. It would fall below the SAC price as well. So keep that in mind. Again, would I trade at this point in time? No, this is not to say like sell now because we're going lower. Like by no means do I want any of y'all doing that. Could it be possible that you just get a massive rally on up in the next little couple days and possibly see a 2x in the span of 10 days? We've seen it happen time and time again. So whenever I talk about playing sideways, I'm mentioning this in a 3x range, right? My sideways range is a 3x range, right? If give or take somewhere in that little zone, whether it be 70% divs or 3x pumps, all those good things. So hopefully that makes some sense right there. But that's checking out the PulseChain chart. So hopefully that makes some sense to you overall and seeing how it all works. Again, the Ink token still doing its thing right now and probably being the leader on this one right now before it actually ends up rallying all the way up. It is looking like it is going through another consolidation phase, but it has been the one to lead the pack first. So when you start seeing this one start bringing it back up into the higher ranges of $10 again, $12, $15, upwards of this little zone, then the rest of the market kind of starts to follow as well because through tied together with liquidity, right? So hopefully that makes some sense for everybody. And yeah, just wanted to share that so that way you'd have your PulseChain charts. Let me go back into here. Cookie to Chocolata, what's up? Yep, A-Fam saying hello to everybody. Prospector, GM. Yep, what's up? Go ahead, Cookie. I'd love to hear the question. What's up, Rugburn222? How you doing, my friend? What's up, fam? Chilling, my guy. Not much, just taking a break and tuning in. Much love. Appreciate you as always for doing that, A-Fam. Everyone giving some love to A-Fam as well. Music is good. Now it's off. Now it's on. Now it's off. Now it's on. Yeah. I was, did you try turning it off and on? So I have a degree. I don't know if y'all know this, but I have a whole degree in like computer science and all that good stuff. But it doesn't really matter because I don't use it at all. But one of the fun things that you always laugh at is with IT, you always say, or one of the questions that they always ask is, did you try turning it off and turning it back on again? And for what's funny is like 90% of the time that shit works and it actually resolves whatever issue that you're dealing with, at least temporarily. It doesn't mean it's always going to solve it, but it does tend to resolve the lying issue. It doesn't show the underlying issue, but it does show the actual cause of it, which is kind of comical. We can hear just really low. Appreciate that. Again, if the music is too loud, again, just let me know or whatever. Atlantean, so much love, my chica. How you doing? Armando, How you doing, Armando? I hope you're having a fantastic day. What are your thoughts on left translated cycle? Kai, I don't know what that means. Maybe you can explain that in some more detail. I don't know what that means. Damn, man, why is it when I buy it goes down? Lol. Dude, that's how it always goes, TDM10. Like, I swear, dude, I don't know if there was like someone that would watch over me whenever I would like go make my big purchases, but every single time, the way I used to do it back in the day before I now just dollar cost average, which is so much easier, so much more stress-free, and so much simpler. But every single time I would get a paycheck back in the day, I would send the money, say, to a centralized exchange. And because it was larger than $1,000 or whatever it was, you would have to wait for 7 days to be able to extract it because I didn't just transfer the money in or whatever it was. And so like the price would be low. And then as soon as my money became available, I would send it through my self-custodial wallet. I would do everything to do the swaps. And as soon as that money was available, the pump would actually happen, whether it was like a 20% pump, 30% pump. And I'm like, damn, forget it, man. I don't want to miss the pump. So I just ape in on that money. And then next thing you know, the price just went and dropped some more. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I just wait? Why couldn't it take longer? And you always blame someone except for, yourself. You don't want to take responsibility on this stuff. But what's funny about it is you end up in a situation that you say, why couldn't it just take longer for Coinbase to just hold my money? I wish I would have deposited it, 2 days later. In that way, it would have like timed perfectly. Dude, don't even worry about it, which is why one of the methods that I do, TDM10, dollar cost average, no matter what. Simple, easy, stress-free. You still have about another 6 months of DCAing before the price really starts taking off. So I am still buying right now. There will be a point in time where my buying stops. But at this point in time, for these prices, being that the bull market it's here, but it hasn't really kicked off. They haven't seen the full parabolic move yet. So until that point in time, I think it's a great time to continue to be purchasing these tokens, because at the end of the day, when the bull market top is in, whether it's in February of 2025, whether it's in October of 2025, whether it's 2026 and beyond, we don't know where the top is going to be. But when that top is in, all that matters is how many tokens you have, and then you have the price at the top. That's it. And hopefully along the way, you've took profits and you do it a smart way through the 5 Ps of proper preparation, preventing poor performance, all the good stuff. So keep that in mind. But I feel you right there, TDM10. I feel the same way. What up, One Up? How you doing, my friend? All right, cool. The only reason why we have not pumped is because I have not sold. As soon as I do, it'll pump. I will be the sacrificial lamb. Yeah, I feel the same way right now, fam. I really do. I feel like if I just gave up on the token and I was like, you know what, guys, I've swapped all my tokens into the next token of the day, whatever that may be. I'm out. I'm playing a whole different system. I'm trying something different. We're gonna give it a shot. And as soon as I do that, I guarantee we would just see a massive pump going freaking straight up all of a sudden, and it would just be like and it's just like skyrocket. So I feel you, fam. I'm in a similar situation as well, in terms of how it ends up going for me. LOL, there's a lot of us who feel the same way, but we're not selling, right? Deploy the like, appreciate that. Again, doesn't cost you anything. Lower music just a bit. Well, damn, I saw that message. Music is a touch too high. All right, yeah, I'm just now reading the messages right now. All right, cool. So I turned it down because, again, apparently I had the music low on my computer because I just had to. Oops. And now the music glitching out. It's mad. Turn.
I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to Debbie Phillips, ES Sports, Claudia Schwartz, Sir Toasty, Joel Lawrence, Joe Blow Crypto, Hector Reyes, Bureau Attila, Sean, Rep Bussy, Robbie Tears, Atlantean, Jonathan, Oyston Larson, Eric Johannesson, Prospector, Darren, Patrick, Joxy Boons, Larry Eats Plants, Sovereign Man, Crypto CPT, Moonmutt, Benny Davis, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, Rugburn222, Christopher Davis, Lacey, Heximus, PulseXimus, Arzella Barnes, SoFlow Life, Lord Jamie, Mark, Chris Bugatti, Secret Crypto 21M, Hex Stevens, Lucky Taylor, NatNat369, L James, David Morgan, Fly Flea.
Well, I'm not really sure what's going on, but yeah, cool. They don't want me sharing this information, y'all. What's up, Tam Tam? Don't sell. Yeah. Don't be the sacrificial lamb. I'm not selling. I can't. I have my main bag in a hardware wallet in a faraway location that requires travel to obtain. That's exactly what you should be doing. Lower music just a bit. Prospector, I just turned the music off. That looked like some spam stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and ban that user real quick because I don't really care for that. Kai, yes, now we are getting to the juice. Lol. A very peculiar staking method. Yeah. Music is a touch. I appreciate that. Checking in. What's up, Westcott? Marcavelli, win resurrection of EHEX. Well, I mean, the EHEX ratio staying at 1 to 5. So, like, if think about if Hex on PulseChain ends up going to $5, that would mean Hex on Ethereum is at $1. That's pretty damn good for a lot of people. Say Hex goes to 250 on PulseChain and we stay at this 1 to 5 ratio, that would put Hex at 50 cents on Ethereum. That's pretty damn good for a lot of people because I remember how much money I had back when Hex was 50 cents, and I don't know. Many people weren't around back then, but it was quite nice having it available and seeing that it all got copied, all the stakes got copied. Mwah. Glorious. Yeah, everyone's saying hello to Westcott, of course. What up, everybody? Say hello to my boy Westcott. Say hello to my little. I'm just kidding. He's a co-host of Pulse Nation. Again, we do a stream on the weekend, so definitely be sure to tune in on that as well. Cookie, I never heard your question, so let me know. Westcott Crypto, looking forward to capture some of that merch. Yeah, dude, we definitely got some of that merch coming. Woo-wee. That'd be fire. Might go live tonight. What do you know about that? Woo-wee. For sure. Do you hold any Atropa coins? No. Atropa's garbage, but my thoughts. I understand the metaphor of burning coins to get rid of them forever, but how does that work? How is that done? So the way it goes is essentially it gets sent to an address that can never be accessed again by anybody ever. So when you say burn a coin, or when you see it on, say, GoPulse right here for this example, here we go. So when I say this, like right here, the $772 million, 772 billion PulseX burned, that means it was sent to an address that can never be accessed by another human being. No one has access to those coins. No one has access to be able to sell them. So they're essentially sent to a void, okay? Which just means at that point in time, they're gone. They can never be sold on the open market. What's even better about this burn mechanism with PulseX is it actually bought the tokens on the market first. On the open market, it bought the tokens and then burned them, or should I say, sent them to an address that can never be accessed by anybody ever, period. There's no one with those typical, those crypto keys to access that address, which is why sending it to a 0000000, the whole 0x00000, it's called a null address because everything's zeros. Sending it to that address means it can never be accessed again. And that's exactly what went down with particularly PulseX right here, right? It actually bought on the open market and burned it. Same thing right here for these little 119,000 burned for the incentive token, for example. Similar situation. It literally is taking it from the open market, sending it to an address that cannot be accessed by anybody ever, and because of that, it's actually burned forever, never to be sold on the actual market. So hopefully that makes some sense. Yeah, it gets sent to a dead address where no one can access. Yeah, simple. I genuinely appreciate you guys. Lots of love. Appreciate that, Tam Tam. Jay, everything. How are you doing, my friend? ATX is the boss. Appreciate that, Tam Tam. And how do we know for sure that no one holds the keys to them? Because there's like it's physically impossible to hold the keys to a zero address. It's called a null address. It's impossible for someone to, because when you go and get your creation of tokens, the 12 words, 24 words, whatever it is, none of them can ever make that address. That's why it's called the null address. It can never be made. Things get minted, things get burned from a null address. That's how it goes, though. But hopefully that helps answer the question. You can confirm on chain on GitHub or other platforms if the keys have been renounced, but typically for EVMs, the copy or constructed 0000000, right? Dead address is created or copied. Yep, 100%. Hey, fam. Hey, Tam. Hey, Tam. I just sent you a DM on Telegram. Ooh, an idea for PulseChain outreach. Kai, I see you. I see you with the Riz over here talking on my stream. I see you. Cookie to Chocolate says, okay, well, where do PulseX coins go, for instance, and where do I find that dead address? Well, you can actually go to scan.pulsechain.com. And let me just pull it up. Give me a second. And we'll actually kind of give you a little example on that as well. So give me just a minute. Here we go. Open that up. Yeah, so you can actually see it right over here on this one. You can actually see the whole 0x0000000, and then just did 369. That's a little staple of the Hex ecosystem, right? Not sure why my mic keeps cutting out right here. Not really sure. Oh, streaming live, man. If you look at the transaction hash, you'll see a little fire emoji next to one of the. If that. RH is very disappointed based on his tweets. No, I don't think so. Maybe I'm not seeing the same tweets, but let me see if I can go through here. Richard Hart, what has he been tweeting? So I mean, these are RH's tweets right here. Ethereum is pretty cool. People are down around 30% about 2 years, but you don't hear them crying and whining. Maybe they're focused on all the ETPs that have been filed for. That's what a lot of people call the ETFs, or maybe it's because they've been through 95% dips before. They work instead of cry. Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. About an airline losing someone's bag. The passenger was yelling at the overworked employee until she heard. There's only 2 people in the I have something open that the mic just keeps connecting to, and I'm not sure what it is. Cool. Yeah, I realize that. Yeah. Block Explorer isn't working well. I'll try to find it soon. Maybe ATX has a better way to find it. No, it's the same way. AFAM, please sell. No, don't sell, AFAM. Don't be the one. What do you think RH meant by his last tweet? I mean, it's exactly like I said. RH is, people are crying that they're down around 30%. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, people are just upset at this point in time, right? You look at the actual chart. This is Ethereum back in its, all-time high situation, almost hitting 4,800 or hitting 4,800. And then currently today's price of Ethereum, which, we've looked at just a moment ago, but looking over here on the Ethereum chart, people are crying that, again, they bought the top and the price is down 30%, right? 29%. Like, people just want to cry, man. It just is what it is. But there's many dips in the game of crypto, man. There's so many dips. And if you actually bought down here on the bottoms, then you're actually up. And guess what? Similar situation happens with PulseChain as well. For all the people who managed to buy the dip and actually continue to purchase all this time, right? They're not down, right? If you bought during this time, even all the way over here, and you bought at this point in time, yeah, it may not have been the exact bottom, but you're still up 2.5x your money. But a lot of people are crying that they're down because they bought right here, right? And so they're like, oh my gosh, I'm down 50% because I bought when it first launched and I never bought again because I thought it was going to go do crazy things. That's on you, man, because you had many opportunities during this time that you could actually buy any of this dip up with, right? That's, again, 2x. Even if you had just bought back in January, just around this time frame, you'd be up 2x right now your money. But so many people are like, well, I'm not buying anything more. I'm invested all the money that I want to invest. Okay, then stop crying. That's kind of what he's saying. What we got over here? Bookmarks. Let me go back over here because this is, again, supposed to be a little Coinfession stuff. So let me actually kind of roll back over here. I found some of these to be kind of hilarious. And yeah, we'll see what we got going on. So this is actually someone basically saying that same thing. Let me go back over here. Yep. Cool. Yeah, it's an address. Every transaction I checked leads to that address to burn. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's literally that address right there. 0x0000000. It's like, that's the null address. That is what it's called. It's literally a null address. And it'll show you right there. Appreciate that as always, Cookie. Yeah, you even sent the whole otter.pulsechain.com. Do I have that? Up. Studio. Because I can't click it in StreamYard, so I have to open up Studio to be able to actually open it up. But we got this over here, so let's just kind of pull that up while the stream is actually going. I will get that up in just a moment, fam. So I appreciate you sending it on through the chat. But they said, I refuse to miss another bull run because I'm overly invested in XRP. I sold at a loss. I was sold a fake dream. I've removed myself from the echo chamber of nonsense and advise others to do the same. While the army waits on XRP to take over the world with the suppressed Why does it keep muting? Why does it keep muting? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. The mic's right here. Beautiful setup. Everything's plugged in. Nothing's moving. I'm not touching anything. It's like it's connecting to something that I don't know what it's connecting to. And I just have to shut off all the programs. Yeah. ATA, yeah, I am, bro. I really am, bro. Like, my gosh. The mic went out, and if I don't pay attention to see that it says that it's out, it doesn't like just like pop up anything. I just have to like look over and see if the mic is muted for whatever reason. Put another coin on the meter. Yeah, dude, put another coin in the meter. That's basically what I need to do. I honestly, I don't know. We will send you 1,000 free hours. Yo, you remember that? That was back in the day, man. You used to be able to get hours on AOL CDs. Damn, that brings it back right there. Yeah, futters are annoying for sure. 100% Twin Fam. RH is tired of the crybabies for sure. He's disappointed. He's just getting tired of people yelling at him for sure. My last buy was in September of 2023. That was a good freaking buy. Julian sold. That was like the best time to buy, by the way. Like truly the best time. Yeah, I don't know. AOL was so expensive. Yeah, it really was. Everything, dude. Just the minutes on the phone. Like I used to, it was hilarious. But whenever I still do it to this day, I don't stay on the phone long. If I'm on the phone, it's quick. I get on, I get off. But what's funny about it was, you know, whenever I was growing up, my parents had the little phone plan, and they would just see like minute conversations, and they're like, "Why do you keep making freaking phone calls that are only a minute long?" Because you were charged by the minutes, even if it only lasted for a little bit. Just kind of hilarious, but that's how it went. In 2021, during the bull run in NFT craze, I took Google images of planets and space. I put them through an app called Dream. I ended up getting an abstract version of the original picture. I made a collection on OpenSea and listed them for 0.2 ETH a piece. In 5 days, the collection generated 3 ETH in volume. I was blown away and shocked. I was able to buy a house at 22 and clear a lot of my debt. So keep that in mind, people. There's many ways to do it. Coinfessions says, I was dead broke and took my last $3,000 I scraped together into meme coin casino on Solana. I turned 3K into 80K. Keep this in mind. Read this and hear this, y'all. I turned 3K into 80K. So damn near a back to $10,000. Just got rugged and lost my last $10,000. That's how it goes, y'all. It's crazy with meme coins. You can get some mad money quick, and then it's all gone in a moment's notice. It is freaking wild. I'm broke and work minimum wage. I took a 20K high interest loan and went all in on an altcoin. Currently up 3x as of now. 2025 is the year. 2025 year is mine. So a lot of people are playing this game too, where they're like, you know what? I'll take a little bit of a loan right now. I'll take a hit, put it all into, you know, all in is always one of those crazy things to hear at any point in time ever. Like you don't go all in, but you know, whatever, people YOLO, and that's what it is. It worked out for this individual so far, or at least it has up until that point where they wrote that message. I've been heavily into crypto since 2016 and scaled what was essentially a minimum wage job to well beyond 6 figures. I just lost it all clicking a link to claim a free minty pickaxe. Or being in crypto since 2016 and then to claim the stupidest thing ever, a freaking minty pickaxe. What are you doing? What are you doing? People do this all the time. This shit's crazy. That's why I pulled this up. That's why I saved it. People are freaking crazy with this stuff, man. My portfolio is up like 300,000. All right, guys. It looks like, you know, things are just whatever being freaking stupid here. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up quick because I'm getting frustrated myself and I don't really care to. Recently read a story where a guy didn't tell his wife about foreign. $700,000 pre-tax. Told my wife I made about $60,000, and the first thing she wanted to do was me to pay off her student loans. That happens. Be careful about telling your spouses if they aren't in this with you. We're going to wrap up another TGI Friday Coinfessions on a day where my freaking system is situated again. So whatever is going on is going on. It's going to drive me crazy enough to the point to where it's got me to cut out the stream. So I appreciate all the love, support. And with that said, guys, I'll catch y'all in the next stream.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too